have played an active role in supporting the French and African-led military interventions that have pushed extremists back into isolated areas in northern Mali. Chad's role in Mali has been significant. Chadian troops deployed using Chadian assets and have played a central role in counterterrorism operations. The Sahel nations are of great use to the U.S. for many reasons. Therefore, Senators, I urge you to join me in the affirmation of the bill to increase developmental and infrastructural aid to the Sahel nations. First of all, developmental assistance to the Sahel will help stabilize that region. Currently, the Sahel is impoverished because of the poor roads, faulty infrastructure, and inefficient crop storage. The Brookings Institution reports that farmers lose 50% of their crops just trying to get them to the market. But by building roads and improving agricultural productivity, land use rights, and primary root cause to and education in Burkina Faso, Mauritania, Niger, and other Sahel nations. Developmental aid will solve for the root cause of poverty, according to the State Department. In Niger, foreign aid has resulted in an 8.3% GDP growth. In Mali, primary school enrollment increased from 55% to 80%, and poverty declined from 56% to 44% as a direct result from foreign aid, according to the World Bank. The U.S. aid alone is reducing poverty rates by 20%. Developmental aid flows averaged across the Sahel regions have accounted for 12% of increased GDP and 5.7%. My second point is that conflict and poverty can be reduced. According to the Overseas Developmental Institute, less poverty means a higher standard of living in terms of the Human Development Index, rating 223 times the regular rate without aid, according to the University of Oregon. Second, it means that less conflict because civil wars will occur disproportionately in poor countries. Oxford economists have shown that a $1 per capita increase in developmental aid sustained over a 5-year period, increasing economic growth and reducing the likelihood of conflict by 30%. By increasing the developmental and infrastructural aid to the Sahel nations, the quality of life in this region can be greatly improved. My last point is that the developmental aid will help solve the overpopulation crisis. The UC Berkeley study, Crisis in Sahel, explains that by 2050, population in Sahel will increase by 200% to 300%, threatening over 100 million people with starvation, destabilizing the Sahel, and resulting in civil war. The African Institute of Developmental Policy explained that by increasing the drastically low usage of contraceptives through developmental aid, population will go down. Starvation and abuse of women and overall conflicts will decrease. The U.S. Berkeley quantifies the impact. Family planning programs could reduce the total population by 18%. Family planning will also result in less hunger, malnutrition, and poverty, saving 100 million people from pain and misery. Second, it will reduce conflict because the low-income states with demographic patterns characterized by a large youth population will succumb to a civil conflict. A recent Population Action International report finds that the decline in the annual birth rate of 0.5% corresponded to a decline of about 5% in the likelihood of conflict. And third, the birth control reduces the spread of sexually transmitted diseases, including HIV, AIDS, which affect 30 million Africans per year. The United States should give developmental and infrastructural aid to the countries in the Sahel region in Africa in order to reduce poverty and conflict, as well as the overpopulation and political instability, thereby improving the quality of life for Africans living in the Sahel nations, as well as stabilizing that region. If we don't, we can expect an increase in Sahel-based terrorism and drug trafficking, as well as an increase in destabilizing conflict in the future that can only harm U.S. interests in that region. Thank you.
Senator, that was 4 minutes 31. Should we consider a CD or extend? Okay, questions?
Senator, for a country that is over $18 trillion in debt, where do you think we should get the money to support these countries?
Well, according to the bill, the money is going to be coming out of the U.S. Department of Defense.
Senator, what's to say, like as in the past, when we provided aid, it's been misused? What's to say that won't happen again?
Well, it won't happen. Well, in this case, the Sahel nations are actually of great interest to us. So by providing them aid, not only are we going to be helping the Sahel nations, but we're also going to be in turn helping ourselves.
All right, thank you.